We may have just discovered Idaho's best hidden gem. It's called the Silver Valley, located in northern Idaho. This area is a gem for outdoor exploration, but also for deep mining history. Hence the name Silver Valley. They have mined over 1.4 billion, yes with a B, ounces of silver in the past 130 years, and they are still mining silver here today. However, the biggest draw is outdoor recreation with 2 ski areas, tons of downhill mountain biking and regular biking opportunities, and then the mining history that you can learn more about. So come along with our family on an RV trip to the Silver Valley. We'll show you all the quirky and interesting things so you can plan a trip here on your next RV trip. The largest town in the Silver Valley of Idaho is Wallace. Wallace is the central hub for all the tourism and mining tourism for your visit. It's also got an extremely quirky history behind it. Here you can take a photo in a flying saucer, see a 6-foot taxidermied mermaid, and also say that you've been to the center of the universe. Yes, the center of the universe. In fact, the mayor back in 2004 declared Wallace, Idaho as the center of the universe. And because it couldn't be proven otherwise, it stuck. Today, it's just a manhole in the middle of the road in the center of town that you can take a photo with. While it may not really be the center of the universe, it's sure a fun and interesting place to visit. Make sure you check out the Sierra Silver Mine Tour. This is a great way to learn more about the town of Wallace and the mining history here. You hop aboard an old trolley and head out to the Sierra Silver Mine. And there you'll get to enter the mine and see exactly how it was to be a miner in the early 1900s here. While they didn't exactly strike it rich in this mine with silver, it was a great mine for educational opportunities and tourism today. And after that, you hop back on the trolley to learn a little bit more and take a tour of the town of Wallace. Wallace, Idaho is home to the weirdest little shop in the Northwest. So is it really that weird? For sure, it's the North Idaho Trading Company. It's part oddity store and part antique store, but everything in the store is actually for sale, and it's really fun to walk through and check it out. The highlight of the place is a 6-foot taxidermied mermaid. Yes, so you will definitely want to check out this little shop when you're in the Silver Valley. The entire town of Wallace, Idaho feels like a time capsule. From the hotels to the saloons to the eateries and the shopping, all of the historic buildings are still here. But it almost wasn't that way. This was the last segment to be completed of Interstate 90 back in the 60s, and the plan was to demolish the town of Wallace. But the smart residents of Wallace delayed the project by saying that they did not complete the proper environmental study for putting the highway here. In the meantime, while they had that delay, they registered every single building in the town in the National Historic Register, which protected them. In fact, today, the entire town of Wallace is on the National Historic Register. The train depot behind me had to be moved and relocated for the interstate to be built. What a great story of preservation. The Silver Valley in Idaho is full of unique little towns. One that you'll want to stop in is Kellogg, Idaho, which was the town named after a donkey. Yes, really. Noah Kellogg was prospecting for mining opportunities in the late 1800s when his donkey went astray, and he found it later in an area of sparkling galena crystals. What that means for a prospector is that there's often silver or gold underneath. This led to the discovery of the Bunker Hill Mine, which established Kellogg. Today you can find a quirky little sign next to Subway in the town that says this town was founded by a donkey, with all the fascinating history. Today you will want to take a trip up to the Silver Mountain Resort while you're in Kellogg and take the gondola ride. It's a great way to get a bird's eye view of the Bitterroot Mountains that make this area of Idaho so breathtaking. If you're an extreme mountain biker, you can also mountain bike various trails down the mountains in the summertime. Of course, it's a great place to ski in the winter. Kellogg also has a mining museum with some interesting mining equipment that you can see even from the outside if you choose not to go in. When you're leaving Kellogg and you're heading towards Wallace, there is a Sunshine Miners Memorial. This is a great place to learn a little bit more about mining, but also the tragedy of the industry. The Sunshine Mine was the largest silver producing mine in the entire world, but in 1972, it had a fire in the mine shaft that killed 91 miners, sadly. The only bright part about this incident was it changed safety practices in mining across the world forever. And it's a great place to stop, take some photos, and learn more about the mining industry. While all the little towns in the Silver Valley of Idaho are quirky, fun, and full of history, that is not the reason that our family decided to take an RV trip here. Why did we come? We came to ride the Hiawatha Trail. This famous rails to trails path on your bike is epic. In fact, it's rated #1 in the country. Now, whether you're a big biker or not, this is one thing that every RVer should put on their trip list. Part of the trail is on the Idaho side and part of it's on the Montana side, and it originates around Taft, Montana. It's a gorgeous 15-mile, almost perfectly flat, so it's great for all abilities, trail along an old railroad path. So you have 10 railroad tunnels to ride through and 7 trestles, which are the high, gorgeous bridges along your path. It's absolutely epic, and it lived up to its name as #1 in America. We would totally recommend it and do it again. There are a few important tips for riding and enjoying the Hiawatha Trail. The first is bring a jacket. The second is bring a headlight or a bike light, because you will be going through many dark tunnels. The tunnels are cold and a light is required. In fact, the first tunnel is only 47 degrees and it's 1.7 miles long, which means you're going to be in that dark tunnel for about 15 minutes depending on how fast you ride. A great place to camp when you are touring Wallace in your RV is the Wallace RV Park. Not only is it steps away from downtown, you can just walk right down the hill to shops and restaurants, but it also sits on a beautiful little creek and has an old abandoned mine site. You can't go in the mine, but you can kind of check it out. It is an ode to Wallace's rich mining history. From stunning scenery, amazing mining history, and quirky little towns, and of course the most scenic bike ride in America, are you excited to visit the Silver Valley in Idaho on your next RV trip? This is why we RV.